folks, I also have a song.
Amen. Amen.
Voice like Jessica, so excuse me.
Neither do I.
Yah is excellent. Yah is excellent. Yah is excellent.
Excellent.
And worthy of all praise. Yah is excellent. Yah is excellent. Yah is excellent. And worthy of all. And worthy of all praise. One more time. Yah is excellent. Yah is excellent. Yah is excellent. And worthy of all praise. The second part goes, Elohim, my home I live, with all the strength you give. I will worship you all my days. Elohim, Elohim, my home I live, with all the strength you give. I will worship you all my days. Yah is excellent. Yah is excellent. Yah is excellent. And worthy of all praise. One more time. Yah is excellent. Yah is excellent. Yah is excellent. And worthy of all praise. Elohim, Elohim, by whom I live, with all the strength you give. I will worship you all my days. And one more time, Yah is excellent. Yah is excellent. Yah is excellent. And worthy of all praise.
Glory.
Praise God.
Ah, it is excellent.
Oh, yeah, saw your heart.
I do. Sing.
Oh, yeah, you are the source of my life. Oh, yeah, you are the source of my life. Oh, yeah, you are the source of my life. And there's none like you. Oh, yeah, you are the source of my life. Oh, yeah, you are the source of my life.
Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
One more time, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Okay, first and foremost, all praises to the Holy One of Israel, the creator of all things, heaven, earth, the seas, and the fullness thereof. Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahuwah, hallelujah.
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 Shabbat shalom, Imam, Imam, Zakwe, Akuti, hey Imam, all these Imams, wonderful Imams. Okay, hope everybody has had a great week. So today's Torah portion, before we get into it, can anybody tell me where are we in the Torah right now?
Sheep, commonly known as Genesis.
Yes, ma'am. So we are in their sheep, commonly known as Genesis. Okay, Mama. So where are we in our history? In the book of their sheep. Where are we? As in, what is going on right now? What is going on right now in the portion? Well, in the past portion.
In the past,
Okay, so the last week's portion, where did we stop off at? So if I wasn't here last portion, could you kind of tell me where are we in the portion right now?
The story of Joseph?
Yep.
Uh-huh. So where did we leave off in the story of Joseph?
Okay, they put him, the Midianites dropped Joseph into the well. And
He ended up where?
he ended up in Mitzrayim,
Uh-huh. And he ended up in
Potiphar's house.
uh-huh.
I can't remember if he had gone into prison yet or not.
Yes, ma'am.
But I do know that the coat was taken back to the father.
Mm-hmm.
And of course he was all upset and all to pieces.
Who was?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Israel.
Okay. Okay. So he's torn to pieces. Joseph is in the house of Potiphar. What happens in the house of Potiphar at the beginning? So Joseph goes in, and then what occurs to the house of Potiphar?
He's supposed to be blessed. Everything's cool.
Okay, everything is blessed. He's increased. He's doing what his name says that he does, which is to add to increase. That's what Joseph means. So he's adding to, and then a serpent comes, or some people say a serpent. Somebody comes and derails the whole situation. Who is that?
His wife.
And she's a very attractive woman, as the story puts it. And she wants Joseph to do what?
Live with it. Sleep with it.
So Joseph does what?
He
Runs.
knows.
He runs. And he says, I cannot sin against,
Potiphar. And it's just, yeah.
I can't sin against Elohim, and I cannot sin against Potiphar. But everything in this house, he knows nothing about. I have taken control of everything. Everything is mine except for you, which is his.
Mm-hmm.
Which is another foreshadow that okay. So, boom. He goes, he gets put in jail. Why is he not killed?
But his destiny just kept him, you know.
Potiphar is the chief executioner
Yeah.
of Pharaoh. Why does he not cut Joseph to pieces for sleeping with his wife?
Because one, he didn't sleep with his wife. Two, he know how his wife is.
Yeah.
And he just did it because it was his wife who said it.
Okay, so he had to save face in the
Yeah.
perception of the people. So he throws him in jail. In jail, he's in jail. What occurs in jail? In prison.
He's highly favored.
Mm-hmm.
He becomes interpreter of dreams.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. And he interprets whose dreams?
The baker
The baker
and
and The cupbearer. Okay. One is hung and the other one is redeemed. Okay. Okay. That just brought me back to the they're hanging on the tree. One is redeemed. The other one is okay.
We got you.
Yeah, that just came.
It came up, I think the spirit is beginning to,
Yeah, I didn't think about that last week. But, okay, so one goes back, and Joseph says what to the cupbearer? He says, do the what?
yeah, don't forget.
Okay. What happens?
He doesn't bring him up.
You don't acknowledge him at all.
But if somebody would save your life and interpret your dream, would you be able to forgive him?
No.
No.
He didn't forget.
Oh, that means that something else occurred probably.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why would that happen? Because right now we're almost at the beginning of 41. Why would he forget, or why would that need to take place but he doesn't remember?
So that Joseph can be raised up through another way.
Oh. By whose hand?
Pharaoh.
Yes, but he's the vessel. So Pharaoh's the vessel through which the Most High uses him.
Right,
Not by our means are we
right,
raised, but it's by the Creator's.
right.
So it's kind of like a divine delay,
Yes,
as they would say in church.
yes. And it's also Joseph's fault. You don't trust man.
Right.
All right, now we are on chapter 41. Chapter 41, Bereshit, commonly called Genesis. Chapter 41, starting at first one. We are in the Torah portion of Ketz, which means in the end. And let's get started.
And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years of Pharaoh's reign, and behold, he stood by the river. That it?
Oh, you can go over to 8.
And behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kind of fat flesh, and they fed in the meadow. And behold, 7 other kind came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean flesh, and stood by the other kind upon the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kind did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kind. Scattered. So Pharaoh awoke, and he stopped and drank the second time. And behold, 7 ears of rain came up upon one store, rank and good. And behold, 7 thin ears, and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them. And the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And it came to pass in the morning that his ruach, the spirit, was troubled. And he sent and called for all the magicians of Mitzrayim and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh.
Okay, so Pharaoh has 2 dreams. Of course, we know the dreams. We've all seen. I've seen the cartoon movie. It's a great interpretation. Cows. So 7 years of famine, 7 years of plenty. In verse 8, he says that it troubled him, so he sent and called for all the musicians and all the wise men of Mitzrayim. Are they in those positions because they don't know what they're doing?
Oh, they don't.
The magicians and the wise men. Are they magicians and wise men because they aren't capable of doing that?
They are people. They're just not capable of doing interpreting that dream.
Okay. Why? Because some things are above your pay grade.
That's right.
That doesn't mean that you're not qualified for the position that you hold, but it does mean that there is someone anointed to do something that you are not.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, he calls all the people, none of them can interpret it. Same thing you do with Daniel, same thing occurs with Daniel. So, all of the wise men, so on and so forth, but Daniel is the anointed one to do that. And it was between him and 3 Hebrew boys, and Daniel was chosen for. So, okay, so now we come back here in verse 9 through 13.
Then spoke the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants and put me in ward in the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. And we drank the dream in one night, I and he, we dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was there with us a young man, and Ivry, servant to the captain of the guard, and we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream he did interpret. And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so it was. Me he restored unto my office, and him he hanged. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon, and he shaved himself, and changed his raiment, and came in to Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamt the dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of you that you can't understand a dream to interpret. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me. Elohim shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace.
Okay. So we know this Elohim, keep going.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, in my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 kinds, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in the meadow. And behold, 7 other kinds in cattle came up after them, poor and very ill-favored and lean-fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Mitzrayim, for badness. And the lean and the ill-favored kind did eat up the first 7 fat kinds, and when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them. But they were still ill-favored, as at the beginning. So I woke, and I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up, and 1 stalk full and good. And behold, 7 ears with the thin, and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them. And the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me.
So whenever you see east wind, that is a problem that came from the Creator. Whenever you see east wind, it's in regards to destruction and mayhem that is caused by the Creator. Some references, Hosea chapter 12 verse 1, Hosea chapter 13 verse 15, and Isaiah chapter 27 verse 8.
And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. Elohim has showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kind are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. Their dream is one, and the 7 thin and ill-favored kind that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty is blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What Elohim is about to do, he shows unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Mitzrayim. And the famine shall consume the land, and the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by Elohim, and Elohim will shortly bring it to pass.
Okay, so it says that how many witnesses establish a matter?
23.
33.
Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Mitzrayim. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Mitzrayim in the 7 plenteous years. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up grain under the hand of Pharaoh. And let them guard food in the cities, and that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Mitzrayim, that the land perish not throughout the famine.
Okay, so Joseph is a Nabi, commonly called a prophet. So prophets primarily come on the scene for 2 reasons. What are those reasons?
Give a message.
Speak.
Definitely a message.
Judgment.
Confirm.
Yes. To confirm. I'm looking for probably 2 words, but you guys are kind of right.
What does it start with?
One starts with the C, and the other one starts with the D.
Declare.
And they rhyme. I'll just, okay. I get up first. The C is correction. They come for correction.
Direction.
Yeah.
You say it right.
Correction.
Yes,
They right.
yes,
Correction.
prophets come for correction and they come for direction. You see that right here. He's coming to put things in a proper perspective, correct? They correct the route that you're going,
Mhm.
if you're wrong. And if you're going right, they confirm and continue and let you continue to move on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In Amos chapter 3, 6-8, says, shall a shofar be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city and Yahuwah has not done it? Surely Adonai Yahuwah will do nothing,
Without showing the prophets first.
okay, but he reveals his secret unto his servants the prophets. The lion has roared, who will not fear? Adonai Yahuwah has spoken, who can but prophesy? When the Most High speaks, he gives it to us, not being, called the prophets, and they deliver the message. The message is most,
What was that word again?
Nabi'im.
Yeah.
How do you
Right.
spell that?
I'm gonna do it just for you, I promise I was gonna do it.
Thank you, sir, I appreciate it.
Nabi'im, prophets.
It's open.
Nabi is a male
Yeah.
prophet. Nabiya is a female prophet. So they come for warning or correction and direction. Amos, okay. Let's go back to Bereshit 41. Give it a second. 3:37 and 38.
And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this? This is a man of whom the Lord Elohim is.
Okay, now pause. That's verse 38, 41, 38. Does you want to say something different, Mom?
It just says, then Pharaoh said to his servants, can a man like this be found, one in whom is Yahweh's spirit?
Well, this is Genesis, right? So, how did I was told that the spirit didn't come until we get into until the Messiah comes.
Oh, no.
Oh,
And so,
how did he get the spirit? Oh, they told me a lie.
the spirit always existed.
How did he get the spirit?
Through Yahweh.
Okay, the Most High delivers it, but how does one get it?
In here, this part,
You know, in general, because it
You
doesn't
have to
tell you
be-
how Yosef got it.
well, it had to come from Yahweh, he had to, well, see.
Well, see. We're gonna take our glasses off for the well, see.
The spirit led him, the spirit was the one, the Ruach was the one who led him and who spoke to him. Yahweh spoke to him through his spirit. But in the new covenant, man can be filled with his spirit and can be led by his spirit from within.
Well, it says the spirit is inside of him, Mom.
It does?
It says
It sure does.
that the spirit is in
He
him.
put it in him. Yahweh put it in him.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so I just want to,
Alright.
yeah, oh, yes, ma'am. I did not see that.
That's a good question.
He was trained in the tents. So from studying the word constantly, morning, night and day, Joseph was his father before he became in Pharaoh's house is basically how he received it. He's basically pouring it into him. It's the word.
He was pointed into him through the word.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
But it came from
I know we'll never go on this side. Well, Acts. The book of Acts, chapter 5.
But that's interesting because in the Torah or in the Old Testament, what you generally hear is the Spirit came upon.
Right.
And so this is interesting in Genesis that we're talking about it was in. Because you don't hear about the Spirit being in somebody until you get to the.
Well, the Pharaoh said it.
No,
Pharaoh
you can't remember that. Come on.
Those were Pharaoh's words.
You remember come get you.
So he
You gonna
saw,
let me come get you. You gonna
he
have to do
saw where others see the Spirit come upon the prophets. Pharaoh saw, Pharaoh's observation was that he was in him. But he may have still come upon him like he did everybody else.
Well,
But then the baker has something to do with it too. When he told Pharaoh, there's a man. You know, and then from Pharaoh's, like you're saying, he had magicians and stuff that could do stuff. So he believed that this man, Yosef, could do this. Since his magicians could do something, he can give me the interpretation about the dreams. You know, because Pharaoh always wasn't believing in supernatural. But with that right there, from Potiphar, from Yosef's relationship to being in jail, to interpreting the dreams, to the guy being lifted back up in his place, and then he told Pharaoh, and at said time, and then Pharaoh was able to, okay, I believe this and that, therefore, it had to, Ben Yehoiada had to,
The spirits of darkness used his people,
yeah.
but the Spirit of Yahweh
Yep.
used.
So we have both.
But just like your wife said, it was the intent, connection of prayer.
And the
Because
word.
I feel it over now, I know it's so, because if ever you stay in the Lord and pray, and pray, and pray,
And stay in his word.
and, well, that's what I'm saying, the word, was all this, they had nothing but to stay in the word unless they were gonna be in error. Unless they gonna just get off course.
oh, say that again, Mo. Unless they do what?
Get off course, stay in error, get in error. I mean, you know, always that's the case. In some cases, you got some smart alecks that come along, and the enemy uses them, okay? But if you do what you're supposed to do, and since Joseph, whatever that name is in the Torah, for him, thank you. You know, he was chosen.
Yes, ma'am.
See, and yeah, you know, some were called, but he was chosen to the cause at that time. And because of his intense relationship with Yah, I believe that made the difference in the exception from the Old Testament to the New Testament. Because that's the constant connection, old or new, big or small, young or old. Immature or mature. An immature person can stay before some kind of God long enough and they'll get an answer. So if you're chosen like Joseph and was right, then do y'all feel what I'm saying? So I wanted to really specifically answer your question.
Which was that the answer that I received from you is due to his relationship with the Creator. That's how the Spirit dwelt on the inside.
And that is the key at any time
For all of us.
Yeah.
for all of us.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. So this is that
Okay.
that's right. That's right. So Acts 5:32. It says, and we are his witnesses of these things. And so also is the Ruach HaKodesh, or Holy Spirit, set apart Spirit, whom Elohim has given to them that obey him.
And Joseph obeyed him.
So that's that reference. And then I want to go to what we know. That's Acts 5:32.
32.
That's one of my favorite ones when people will say, I got the Spirit. Oh, you do?
Let's go to 5:32 half.
Let's go over here. Let's see something real quick. Because the Spirit helps you do something. So Ezekiel 36. Ezekiel 36 says, 36 verse 27. says, and I will put my spirit, this is the Most High speaking, and I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers. You shall be my people, and I will be your Elohim. So the Most High has already prophesied that the spirit is going to be given for you to walk out a certain way.
Right.
Now, that's prophecy, but let's go before Joseph in Genesis chapter 6. Genesis chapter 6. Yes, ma'am. In Genesis chapter 6, this is when the Nephilim, or the fallen ones, started to mate with the women. The Most High says, verse 3, so chapter 6, verse 3, he said, and Yahuwah said, my Ruach shall not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh, yet his days will be 120 years. So that word strive means to govern.
Yeah.
So my spirit may not, like you said, they're going to go off course. So my Ruach may not always be the one that they listen to in order to walk.
See, that's right.
But with Joseph, he continued, whether he was with his father in Canaan, or whether he was with Pharaoh and Mizraim in Egypt, he would continue to walk the ways that the Creator asked him to walk. So the Ruach can dwell within him. But the Most High cannot dwell in an unclean vessel.
That's right, and he stated that point, where he wouldn't have that, all that.
Yes, ma'am. He wouldn't allow his ascension from the dungeon, from slavery to the head of Potiphar's house, from the dungeon to Pharaoh's house. He wouldn't allow it to taint him, which allowed him to continue to be clean, so the Ruach can dwell within him. Same thing now. If you continue to be clean, that's how you know you have the Ruach. When you're able to listen to it and move according to His word and not what everybody else is saying. So that's how he's able to get the revelation.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back.
That's a good question to answer.
Back to Genesis. Back to Bereshit chapter 41. Chapter 41, and we are on verse 40. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You shall be over my house, and according to your word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than you. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set you over all the land of Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. I was going to say something, I ain't going to say that. And he made him to ride in the second chariot, which he had, and they cried before him, bow the knee. And he made him ruler over all the land of Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without you shall no man lift up his hand or his foot in the land of Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Satnah, Panach. And he gave him to be his woman, Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Mitzrayim.
Okay, so there's a lot in verses 40 through 45. Okay. So, verse 4, he said, you shall be over my house, and according to your word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than you.
Wow.
Okay, so we all know that Joseph, you may not know, Joseph is a type of Messiah. Okay, so when you look at the story of Joseph, you also see a prototype, right?
Yeah.
So it says that only in the throne will I be greater than you. So does Joseph rules everything else, right?
Right.
But who rules Joseph?
The Ruach.
So he still has to answer to Pharaoh. Okay, I'm coming down. And then, okay, verse 44, he said, I am Pharaoh, no man shall lift his head or foot in all the land of Mitzrayim. This is, he said he took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen and put a gold chain around his neck. So he decked him out. I would like to go to Daniel.
See, that's what we got gold chain.
Y'all kings. Daniel chapter 7. Daniel chapter 7, verses 9 through 14. Daniel chapter 7, verses 9 through 14. Say hello, y'all, when you have arrived.
Here we are.
Okay. Chapter 7, verse 9 through 14.
Hallelujah.
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 Not as easy as being on that phone, huh, Keith?
No, I usually read it from my Bible, just trying to use it because it's easier with the kids.
Yeah.
But I always use my Bible.
Okay. So, it says, chapter 7, verse 9 through 14, it says, I beheld, till the thrones were cast down. Now, this is the backstory. This is the prophetic vision that Daniel gets of the four kingdoms.
Yeah.
Four kingdoms, and each kingdom is different, all the way from the Medo-Persian, the Babylonian, to the Medo-Persian, to the Greek, to the Roman, which we're still under.
Yeah.
So he sees all four kingdoms, and now those kingdoms are being destroyed. So now we're at verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow,
Yes.
and the hair of his head like pure wool. His
Yeah.
throne was like a fiery flame, and his wheels is burning fire. Who is the Ancient of Days?
Yahushua.
Who is the Ancient of Days?
No.
Yahuwah.
Yeah.
A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. 1,000 thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. And I beheld, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spoke, I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed, and given to the burning flame. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. Verse 13, I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days.
Yeah.
And they brought him near before him.
Yeah.
And there was given him, who's him? The Son of Man or Ancient of Days?
Ancient of Days.
And there was given him, who was he given to?
Yahushua. Yahushua.
What, is it the Ancient of Days or the Son of
And
Man?
Yahushua.
The Son of Man? Yes, sir. So, and there was given to the Son of Man dominion,
Yeah.
glory, and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. So, who's the Ancient of Days?
Yahweh.
Yeah.
And who's the Son of Man that came with the clouds? Okay, so it is given to him, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. I'm just making sure.
That's good.
It is given to him. Same thing as you see the prophet Yosef.
Yeah.
It is given to Yosef, but there is still. Alright, so let's go ahead. 45, verse 45. Verse 40. Pharaoh called Yosef's name Sophanah Paneah, which means, yeah, Genesis. I'm sorry. We're back in Genesis 41, verse 45. And his name in the Egyptian, or I say to say, it means revealer of secrets. Now, he was given a wife, Asenah, daughter of Potiphar, priest of On. Now, On was the center of sun worship.
Yeah.
So, his wife was the priestess of sun worship. Quite interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And Joseph went all over the land of Mitzrayim. Okay. And we can go ahead to 46 to 52.
And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went through all the land of Mitzrayim. In the 7 plenteous years, the earth brought forth by handfuls, and he gathered up the food of the 7 years, which were in the land of Mitzrayim, and laid up the food in the cities, the food of the field, which was round about in the city. Laid he up in the same. And Joseph gathered grain as the seed, at the sand of the sea, very much until he left numbering, for it was without number. And unto Joseph there born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bore unto him. And yet Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh. For Elohim said, he has made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. The name of the second called he Ephraim.
Ephraim.
Elohim has caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction.
Okay, so Manasseh, he said, made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. How could he forget his father's house? What does that mean? How much that? What does it mean to forget all my toil and all my father's house? What did he forget in regards to his father's house? No, Kyle.
Teaching of the ways of his father. He grew up in your father's house, so I'm presuming that all of the instruction that his father gave him.
You think he forgot that?
Yes.
Okay.
But because
I was
of the
gonna
colors
try.
of faith, that his father showed him beyond the colors.
Man forget everything about home, good and the bad.
The toil would be the bad, though, right? Would be
Okay.
all the negative things.
Forget all my trouble in all my father's house.
Well, okay, so we're gonna see what that means partially as far as the father's house when the brothers come on the scene. But, however, I have questions. Well, how would he forget his father's house if both his sons are named with Hebrew names? And he ran from Potiphar's wife and said, I will not sin against you. Okay, which is the L of his father. So what he forgot was, thought he forgot, the pain that was caused.
Right.
So the toil that he was in jail for about 12 years,
Yeah.
and what occurred to him at his father's house, the dungeon and all that.
Right.
Where he is now is like, I don't even,
Right.
Yeah, I ain't worried about
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hey, I'm not worried about that, or so he thought.
Mm-hmm.
And Ephraim, to be fruitful. So we know Manasseh and Ephraim are what in regards to the 12 tribes? What are Ephraim and Manasseh? I'll wait on that question. That'll come later. Manasseh and Ephraim are taken as what as far as the tribes? What do they do as far as the 12 tribes? Okay, by doing what? Taking out who? Okay, so they replaced Joseph. Joseph is given a double portion. Because Levi is not included in the 12 tribes
Yeah.
as far as the count.
Mm-hmm.
They are the priests, which is why when we get to the camp, it's 3, 3, 3, 3, Levi in the middle. Ephraim and Manasseh are their own tribes. Okay, for Elohim has made me forget and made me be fruitful in the land of my affliction. Verse 53. We are in Bereshit, Bereshit 41, verse 53.
Camp. As long as I was blocking the camp.
And the 7 years of plenteousness, go ahead.
And 7 years of plenteousness, there was in the land of Mitzrayim were ended, and the 7 years of famine began to come, according as Joseph has said, and the famine was in all lands, but in all the land of Mitzrayim there was bread. And when all the land of Mitzrayim was famished, the people inquired to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Mitzrayim, go unto Joseph, what he says to you, do. And the famine was over all the face of the earth, and Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto Mitzrayim. And the famine waxed sore in the land by Mitzrayim. And all countries came into Mitzrayim to Joseph for to buy grain, because that the famine was so sore in all the lands.
Okay, so when in authority, all nations must go through the anointed one, Messiah Hebrews.
Yeah.
Then they must go through the anointed one for instruction.
Mm-hmm.
When in authority, that's the key aspect of it. Bread is a synonym for what in the scriptures? Okay. So there will be a famine of not bread. Let's go to Amos chapter 8. Amos chapter 8 verse 11 through Amos chapter 8, 11 and 12. It says, I don't know what it is. I got it. Behold, the days come, says Adonai Yahuwah, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahuwah. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahuwah, and shall none find it. So that's prophecy of what's going to occur, but it's the same thing that occurred in Bereshit. They have to go to where the anointed ones are in order to get the bread. It's not going to be everywhere. Everybody's not going to have their own interpretation of their own type of bread.
Yeah.
We're going to have to come to where it is.
Yeah.
In which I had that scripture. You can keep going it on. I'm about to find the scripture to make sure.
What verse? Same in Amos.
Mm-hmm.
Amos verse 12, 13,
Oh, no. Go back to Bereshit. Click on
40,
42.
What chapter of Bereshit?
chapter 42.
back to chapter 42, right beginning of 42.
Now when Yaakov saw that there was rain in Mitzrayim, Yaakov said unto his sons, why do you look one upon another? And he said, behold, I heard that there is rain in Mitzrayim. Get ye down thither. And Blake was convinced that we may live and not die.
Okay, so Yaakov was looking at his sons like, okay, what are y'all doing? There's a famine. Why do y'all, well, he doesn't know, but y'all have done away with the person that gives us instruction, the prophet. Y'all have done away with the prophet among us, who I taught. Now I gotta go back and do the job that I trained Joseph to do. So y'all just go, and at this point, he hasn't fully came, exactly. He's in his feelings. And now I just trained him, boy, and y'all done away with him, now I gotta get up and go get some bread.
Yeah.
I'm sitting looking at y'all. Verse 3.
And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy grain in Mitzrayim. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Yaakov, sent not with his brother. For he said, lest perchance mischief fall before him. And the sons of Yashuel came to buy grain among those that came.
So verse 4 says, but Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Yaakov did not send him with his brethren, for he doesn't want anything to come upon him.
Yeah.
Yaakov is still not fully recovered from the incident with Joseph. These are the situations that cause you to guard yourself. So there are situations that you haven't fully got over, which makes you guard yourself, which only delays progression. Because as we go continually through the story,
Yeah.
he has to give up Benjamin anyway.
Yeah.
So the things that we're holding on to are only delaying our progression into what the Creator is asking us to do.
That's good. That's good.
Go ahead, Aki, verse 5.
And the sons of Yashuel came to buy grain among those that came. For the famine was in the land of Canaan, and Joseph was the governor of the land, and it was that sold all to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spoke roughly unto them. And he said unto them, whence come ye? And they said, from the land of Canaan, to buy food. And Joseph knew his brother, but they knew him not. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said unto them, ye are spies to see the nakedness of the land ye are come.
Okay, hold on. So it says that Joseph knew his brethren, but his brethren did not know him. Right? In Hebrew, that's the same word. So I recognize you, but you don't recognize me because I have disguised myself.
Yeah.
He disguises himself as a pagan. The word is nakar. So to recognize or distinguish. The same word is used when it says that do not distinguish people in your judgment. You judge the lowly with the high up, the poor with the rich, and so forth. So that word means to point out and to recognize. You don't recognize them. So Joseph, he knows them, but they don't know him. Ye are spies. That word also means to slay. Verse 10.
And they said unto him, nay, my lord, but to buy food are the servants come. We are all one man's sons. We are true men, the servants are no spies. And he said unto them, nay, but to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. And they said, your servants are 4 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not. And Joseph said unto them, that it is that I spoke unto you, saying, Ye are spies. Hereby ye shall be proved. By the life of Pharaoh, ye shall not go forth hence, except your youngest brother come hither. Send one of you and let him fetch your brother, and ye shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proven, whether there be any truth in you. Or else, by the life of Pharaoh, surely ye are spies. And he put them all together into ward 3 days. And Joseph said unto them the 3rd day, This do and live, for I fear Elohim. And ye be true men, that one of your brethren be bound in the house of your prison. Go ye carry grain for the famine of your houses, and bring your youngest brother unto me. So shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so.
Okay, so he kept them in ward 3 days. That word ward, it means prison, but it also means a place of observation. So he stood back and watched them for 3 days to see how they would act as he continues to put them through the tournament. And then he said,
Wow.
oh, I fear Elohim. So why isn't that a clear indicator that Elohim, he's talking about Yah, the El of their fathers.
Wasn't it clear to hear?
Yeah. He said, do this and live, for I fear Elohim. Why wouldn't they know, if he said he feared Elohim, that he's talking about the El of his father? Or is it?
Yeah. You still more there.
Well, why wouldn't they know that?
Well, you know what?
Because they want to pay you.
Huh? Okay, so today, right, we're speaking English. If I say I fear Elohim, or I fear God, what does that mean to you?
I have a holy reverence.
There's a question that should come out of that. If I say I fear God,
Depends on
Who's
which
your
God you
Elohim?
talking
Which guy you talking?
okay.
Right.
There's
So
many
that's what I
gods.
don't know. He
Yeah.
disguised himself as what Esau said as a pagan. But
Right.
if somebody says to me they fear Elohim, which one?
Yeah, which one? Yeah.
Which God do you serve?
Mm-hmm.
So Elohim, just says God, these are titles.
Yeah.
But it's not, doesn't mean that it's definitely the El of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay. You know the verse 21.
And they said one to another, We are truly guilty concerning our brother, and that we saw the anguish of his soul. Wow. When he was besought us, and we were not here. Therefore, is this distress come upon us? And Reuben answered them, saying, Spoke I not unto you, saying, Do not sin against the child. And ye were not here. Therefore, behold, also his blood is required. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spoke unto them by interpreter. And he turned himself about from them and wept, and returned to them again, and communed with them, and took from them Simon, Shimon, and bound him before their eyes.
Okay, real quick. The word to hear is used 3 times. Yeah, 2 times in
21.
yeah, 21 through 24. What's the Hebrew word for hear?
To hear.
To hear.
Okay.
I think he's like here. Like right here.
To hear.
Oh, he had a point to here.
Shema?
Shema.
Okay, Shema. Okay, so they said in verse 21, it said, his soul anguished, we saw the anguish of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Then 22, it said, I spoke not I unto you, do not sin against the child, and ye would not hear. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spoke by an interpreter. And in verse 24, it said that they took from him Shimon and bound him before their eyes. What is Simon's name mean?
Simeon. What's the
Shimeon.
name? Simeon.
So Shimeon means what?
What's the
I gotta
name?
go back to when they named him.
What's the name?
It means to hear. Or,
To hear.
yes.
Shimeon was in here too?
Yes, so the root word of his name is Shema.
Oh, okay.
So, they would not hear twice, huh?
So that's why he took it.
So after they chose not to hear, then the ability to hear was taken from them.
Say it again.
After they chose not to hear wisdom, the ability to hear wisdom was taken from them.
Man, that's go deep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You can go to Mishlei, kind of stuff that
I got-
wisdom.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So do you feel that you know how to say nothing known to the sun? Many of God's people refuse to hear wisdom. Do you think that fell upon the people that don't know that's his people? They ain't trying to hear wisdom all, they can still follow.
Yeah, because you don't have to know your nationality to take heed to wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm talking about Yah's wisdom, period. You know how you can always say over and over again and just refuse to listen to the point to where you just not gonna hear it no more because too many people has come to an individual to tell you about Yah, and you just say, I don't care.
Exactly, you be over to a reprobate mind.
Boom. In that word, like how she put it.
If you go to Mishlei 1 and verse 20, it says, wisdom cries without, she utters her voice in the streets. She cries in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she utters her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools take knowledge. Turn you at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my ruach upon you. I will make known my words unto you, because I have called and ye have refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear comes.
That's wisdom.
Then you shall call upon me. That's Proverbs, I'm sorry. Mishlei commonly called Proverbs chapter 1, verses 20.
First chapter.
First chapter, verse 20 through 29. I'm at verse 27. When your fear comes as desolation, and your destruction comes as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish comes upon you, then shall you call upon me, but I will not answer.
Too late.
They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge, and did not choose to fear of Yahuwah. They were none of my counsel, they despised all of my reproof. That's why it says, call on him while he is near, seek him while he may be found. Okay, because there will come a time where your ability to hear, your ability to discern the words of the Creator will be taken from you, as it has for our people. Okay, we can go back to Bereshit, commonly called Genesis. Yeah, 42, 25.
And Yosef commanded to fill their sacks with grain, to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provision for the way. And thus did he unto them. And they laded their asses with the grain and departed thence. And as one of them opened his sack to give his ass provender, in the end he espied his money, for behold, it was in his sack's mouth. And he said unto his brother, my money is restored, and lo, it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them, and they were afraid, saying one to another, what is this that Elohim has done unto us? And they came unto Yaakov, their father, into the land.
I think it's funny that they automatically knew that it was the Most High that had done it, not really having, maybe the people at, in Joseph's house. No, it automatically said. They knew what they had done, so they knew that it was the Most High, yes, that was dealing with them.
So the officers basically knew better already.
Okay. So when you're not right with the Creator, you will receive either blessings to be cursed.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh boy. And he said unto his brother, my money is restored, and Lord is even in my sack. And their heart failed them, and they were afraid, saying one to another, what is this that Elohim has done unto us? And they came into El Yaakov, the father, into the land of Canaan, and told him all that befell unto them, saying, the man who was the Lord of the land spoke roughly to us, and took us for spies of the country. And we said unto him, we are true men, we are no spies. we be 12 brothers, sons of our father, one is not the youngest, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. And the man, the Lord of the country, said unto us, hereby shall I know that ye are true men. Leave one of your brethren here with me, and take food for the family of your households to be gone, and bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that ye are no spies, but that ye are true men. So will I deliver you your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land. And it came to pass, as they emptied their sacks, that behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when both they and the father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. And Yaakov the father said unto them, Me have ye bereaved of my children. Joseph is not, and Shimon, Simon is not. And ye will take Benjamin away. All these things are against me.
Okay. So it says, Joseph is not, Shimeon is not, Benjamin is not. So when you read, Joseph is the prophet. He is the center of revelation at that point. Shimeon is to be what? Okay. And Benjamin is what?
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay, son of right hand. So when Joseph is not, Shimeon is not, Benjamin is taken away. When you have rejected revelation, your ability to hear direction is taken away, which takes away our strength. If we can't hear the Creator, we have no strength.
Yeah,
It's law.
yeah, that's true.
That's right.
Which comes from the rejection of the prophets. The rejection of the prophets. Okay, verse 37 and 38, you know?
And Reuben spoke unto his father, saying, Slay my 2 sons, if I bring him not to you. Deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him to you again. And he said, My son shall not go down with you. For his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If mischief before him by the way in which he goes, then shall ye bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to Sheol.
Okay, so why does Yaakov or Israel say no to Reuben?
He doesn't wanna lose his
I
son.
don't want anything to happen originally.
Yeah. Like he did his other son.
Two children from his favorite wife.
I don't want to lose it.
I want to keep those answers just like that. Just give me about 8 more verses. But it says Reuben's status has been diminished since he slept with Bilhah. He lost his status as firstborn in the respect of his Abba and Akim. And notice that it is Yaakov speaking with Reuben. So I'll just remember all your answers. Go ahead to chapter 43 and read 1 through 14. You know?
And the famine was sore in the land, and it came to pass, when they had eaten up the grain which they had brought out, a Mitzrayim, the father said unto them, Go again, buy us a little food. And Yehudah spoke unto them, saying, The man did solemnly protest us unto us, saying, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. If you would send our brother with us, we will go down and buy you food. But if you will not send him, we will not go down. For the man said unto us, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. And Yashua said, Wherefore dealt ye so ill with me, as to tell the man whether ye had yet a brother? And they said, The man asked us strictly of our state and of our kindred, saying, Is your father yet alive? Have ye another brother? And we told him according to the tenor of these words. Could we certainly know that he would say, Bring your brother down? And Yehudah said unto Yashua, his father, Send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live and not die, both we and you, and also our little ones. I will be surety for him, and my hand shall you require him, if I bring him not unto you, and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever. For except we had lingered, surely now we had returned the second time. And the father Yashua said unto them, If it must be so, now do this. Take up the best fruits in the land in your vessels, and carry down the man a present, a little balm, a little honey, spices and myrrh, nuts and almonds. And take double money in your hand, and the money that was brought again in the mouth of your sacks, carry it again to your hand. And perchance it was an oversight. Take also your brother, and arise, go again unto the man. And elder Shaddai give you mercy before the man, that he may send away your other brother, Benjamin, if I be bereaved of my children, I am bereaved.
Okay, couple questions. Who spoke with Reuben?
Joseph.
Yes.
Who spoke with Reuben in verses 36 to 38?
The father.
Okay.
I didn't mean Joseph, I meant Jacob.
Okay, not
Sorry,
all.
Father said
Okay.
that.
Who spoke with
Right?
Yehuda?
Israel. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So, the one who had a problem with his flesh, Reuben, speaks to the flesh of the father. The one who was the Ruach, Yehuda, speaks to the nation. Okay, that's one. Two, what was Reuben's first words to Yaakov?
Like his son.
Hmm?
His son.
I said, what were his words?
Slay my two sons.
Oh, so, kill my two sons. So if I'm trying to get something from you, right, I need you to trust me. I'm going to start off with the punishment if I don't do it.
No.
So he starts off with, I need you to trust me. Look, kill them if I don't do it, but I need you to trust me. Okay? Okay, cool. That's one. Yehuda said, send the lad with me, we will arise and go, that we may. Read along with me. Chapter verse 8, 43 verse 8. I'm sorry. Yes, I did. Yehuda said, go to Israel. Huh?
We'll go up,
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And
so
live.
that we'll live and not die.
Okay, so he's talking about life. One starts off with death, the other one starts off with, look, let's do this so we can live and we'll come back. And then Yehuda said in verse 9 that he will be what for him?
Surely.
His pledge.
I will be the pledge. Reuben told him to do what?
And his sons.
Okay, so he sent his sons. That's called a hireling when you're looking at the break kind of shop. The hireling, but the shepherd does what for his flock?
Lay down his life.
He lays down his life before it. Okay, so you have Yehuda saying that I will be the pledge, but let's go down. Yisrael's response to him is, all right, look, you gotta do it. Take this, and this, so on and so. Now he has a plan. Now he trusts in Yehuda.
Yeah.
He wasn't talking about bringing him down to Sheol. Now is if I'm bereaved, I'm bereaved. If it gotta happen, it's gonna happen. But I trust in you, because nobody wants to leave Benjamin. Look at Benjamin. He can't leave that face. No, he said, take these things with you. Take these things with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when he said, and if I bring him not unto you, set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever.
Yeah.
The word bear the blame is kata. Now, kata means sin.
I knew it was a C there.
C-H-A-T.
Kata. It means sin.
So don't let me no kata.
No.
We don't have to do that, we don't make sure you don't do that.
Don't let no baby do that. It sounds good, but it ain't what it is.
That's right.
Exactly.
He said, put the sin on me.
Yeah. Wow.
Yehuda
Foreshadow.
is telling Israel to put the sin on me
I hear you.
and not the son of the right hand.
Yeah.
Who's the firstborn of the Most High? No, y'all know this answer. Who is the firstborn of the Most High? Don't make me go to Exodus.
Adam. You sure?
Adam. Yes, but Yahusha is a representation of the nation of Israel.
Right?
So the firstborn of the Creator is who? Israel.
Israel.
I said it 4 times, so I said.
I didn't hear you.
I said it under my breath.
Y'all gotta speak up. That'd be loud. Both of y'all have very strong voices. Anyway, he said, put the sin on me forever. I will take the sin, even though I didn't do anything, I will take the sin for you. You go to Isaiah 53. And that's exactly what the suffering servant said that he would do. The Most High said that it pleased him to put the sin on the servant that was sinless. Okay. So you have representation of both Messiah ben Yosef and Messiah ben Yehuda in the same passage.
I feel bad.
It's okay.
I can leave it over the head so they go over, right?
Yeah, I told, I don't have a problem with it. Okay, so
We got
when we're let's get back 43:15. So the Most High, if you truly believe something, you will put your life on it.
yeah.
You won't put anybody else's life on it. You will put your life on it. So that's why this walk you have to be a living sacrifice. You can't sacrifice anybody else for this walk. It must be you.
Yeah.
And that's what the Father resonates with. He only deals with the person who's giving himself. We go to 43:15.
And the men took that present, and they took double money in their hand. And Benjamin and rose up and went down to Mitzrayim and stood before Joseph. And when Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the ruler of his house, bring these men home and slay, and make ready for these men. And make ready, for these men shall dine with me at noon. And the man did as Joseph bade, and the man brought the men into Joseph's house. And the men were afraid because they were brought into Joseph's house. And they said, because of the money that was turned in our sacks the first time we brought, and that he may seek occasion against us and fall upon us, and take us for bondmen and our asses. And they came near to the steward of Joseph's house, and they communed with him at the door of the house, and said, O sir, we came indeed down at the first time to buy food. And it came to pass, when we came to the end that we opened our sacks, and behold, every man's money was in the mouth of his sack. Our money in full weight, and we have brought it again in our hand. And other money have we brought down in our hands to buy food. We cannot tell who put our money in our sacks. And he said, peace be to you. Fear not, your Elohim and the Elohim of your father has given you treasure in the sacks. I had your money. And he brought Shimei, Simon, out unto them.
Okay, let's look at. So verse 23, it says, peace be unto you. Shalom Aleichem. Fear not, Elohim of your fathers. Your Elohim and Elohim of your fathers give you treasure. I had your money. Good. And then what comes back out? Okay, so what is the difference between this and chapter 42:36? 42:36 and 43:23. He said that Joseph is not, Shimeon is not, son of Moreh.
Joseph is no more. Simeon is gone. The next will take Benjamin.
Okay, so in verse 23, we spoke about when we reject what?
Rejects the prophet, then the word is taken from us.
The ability to hear.
Hear, yes.
So,
And so now he's bringing back the ability to hear, because he's giving back to him, and then the prophet himself is speaking to him.
okay, so the prophet is the one that says, peace be unto you.
Yeah.
This is what occurred. I'm giving you revelation about what has occurred.
Yeah.
I had your money, the Most
Yeah.
High bless you, so on and
Yeah.
so forth, and now I'm giving you the ability to hear again.
Yeah.
So the prophet is there, the ability to hear is there. Okay, that's it. 24. Okay.
And the man brought the men into Joseph's house and gave them water. And they washed their feet, and he gave their asses provender. And they made ready the present against Joseph came at noon. For they heard that they should eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in the hand into the house, and bowed themselves to him in the earth. And he asked them of their welfare and said, is your father well? The old man of whom he spoke, is he yet alive? And they answered, your servant, our father, is in good health. He is yet alive. And they bowed down their heads, and made omniscience, And he lifted up his eyes and saw his brother, Benjamin, his mother's son, and said, Is this your younger brother, for whom he spoke unto me? And he said, Elohim be gracious unto you, my son. And Joseph made haste, for his heart did yearn upon his brother. And he saw it where to weep, and he entered into his chamber and wept there. And he washed his face and went out and refrained himself and said, Set on bread. And they set on for him by himself, and for them by themselves. And for the Mitzrayim which they eat with him by themselves, because the Mitzrayim might not eat bread with the Ivrim, for that is an abomination to Mitzrayim. And they set before him the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men marveled at one another. And he took and sent messes unto them from before him. But Benjamin's mess was five times so much as any of theirs, and they drank and were married with him. And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, Fill the men's sacks with food, as much as they can carry, and put every man's money in his sack's mouth, and put my cup, the silver cup, in the sack's mouth of the youngest, and his grain money. And he did according to the word that Joseph had spoken. As soon as the morning was light, the men were sent away, they and their asses. And when they were gone out of the city, and not yet far off, Joseph said unto his steward, Up follow after the men, and when you do overtake them, say unto them, Wherefore have ye rewarded evil for good? Is not this it, in which my Lord drinks, and whereby indeed he divines? Ye have done evil in so doing. And he overtook them, and he spoke unto them these same words. And they said unto him, Wherefore says my Lord these words? Far be it that ye servants should do according to his thing. Behold, the money which ye found in our sacks, mouths, we brought again unto you out of the land of Canaan. How then should we steal out of the Lord's house, said Behold, with whomsoever your servants is to be found, both let him die, and we also will be my Lord's bondsmen. And he said, Now also let it be according to your words. He with whom it is found shall be my servant, and she shall be blameless. Then they speedily took down every man his sack to the ground, and opened every man's sack. And he searched and began at the eldest, and left at the youngest, and the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. And they rent their clothes, and lighted every man his ass, and returned to the city. And Yehudah and his brethren came to Joseph's house, for he was yet there, and they fell before him on the ground. And Joseph said unto them, What deed is this that ye have done? Know ye not that such a man as I can certainly divine? And Yehudah said, What shall we say unto my Lord? What shall we speak? Or how shall we clear ourselves? Elohim has found out the iniquity of your servants. Behold, we are my Lord's servants, both we and he also with whom the cup is found. And they said, Far be it that I should do so, but the man in whose hand the cup is found, he shall be my servant. And as for you, go get ye up in peace unto your father.
Okay, so that's the end of the portion. So we see that. But so right now you have a situation where Benjamin is favored, he's being favored, he's being favored on purpose, so that now he can see whether or not they are truly changed. Because they have the ability to go back to their father. But of course, y'all gotta wait till next week, or just read the portion for next week and see what actually occurs in the difference between their mentality almost 15 years earlier and their mentality now. So that's the end of the portion.
Hallelujah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.